I mean, you know, like I just said, like, you know, even if you could consistently, so to put that body together, that aesthetic body together, even if you could get yourself to go to the gym, that's, let's just round up a 1 hour ordeal for you to go to the gym. There's 23 other hours in the day that you could fuck up your nutrition to the point where you just sort of ruined everything you did in the gym. And that is why most people struggle with nutrition. I say that all the time because the level of commitment, think about how hard it was to get yourself to go to the gym when you first started training, or just work out at home, wherever it is, but like to do it on a consistent basis, even 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, you do that. Then you've got to somehow get a hold of how you're eating for 23 other hours in the day for the rest of the day. Obviously you're sleeping at some point, but there's the level of commitment is not even close. So people can do the physical part, they can't do the nutrition part, which is why so many people suffer and struggle with that mightily. But when you can develop some strategies to do it, which I try to help people with, and most of my strategies for nutrition are about dumbing it down and becoming much more simple. Don't start counting your macros and your this and your that. Like, that is a recipe for disaster, literally, because you're because you can't do it that long term, you know? You want to be able to build in the tools that somebody can actually utilize and give them a chance of being consistent with it. The first time that I'm not around that particular food, or I don't have access to the macros of that food because I'm in a restaurant, although now they like to put the stuff on the menu for you and post what's actually in it, but like, what am I gonna do, fall apart? Like you gotta become, like I use like a plate method I've covered in my video before. Just divide your plate up. You know, protein in this sort of 1/3 of the plate, and then you have fibrous carbohydrates and starchy carbohydrates. You know, have twice as many starchy or fibrous carbohydrates as starchy carbohydrates. There's your plate, you know, and don't pile it up. Doesn't mean that you could go like this with it. You know, keep it about reasonable. You know, a couple inches high, and there's your plate. You could do that wherever, whenever, without having to break out calculators and. Right. And one of these days you're gonna get tired of calculating stuff and trying to dial everything in. And I think that's the first excuse you had to be like, yeah, I'm done with this. You know, and that's certainly not gonna engender consistency.
Right, so 1/3 of your plate is some lean protein, chicken or fish or beef.
Yeah,
1/3 of the plate is fibrous carbs like broccoli or, you know, vegetables too? Or?
Yeah, in that remaining 2/3,
yeah.
I say then go twice as many fibrous carbohydrates than starchy.
Okay.
So just kind of like, you know, if this is the portion size of your starchy, then double it up in terms of.
What's a good fibrous carbohydrate that you tell people?
I mean, there could be so many. I mean, I hate to make it sound uninteresting, but like broccoli, you know, it could be spaghetti squash, it could be anything that you sort of find interesting and that you enjoy. You know, it could be asparagus, and I mean, and not, by the way, not boiled asparagus, and not. Again, there's the consistency thing. Like we
nobody will do that consistently.
No, I've never done that my whole life.
Make it taste good.
Yeah, I've maintained my leanness my whole life because I actually enjoy what I eat. Like, I'm looking forward to you know, my next meal and what I eat, even though if it's fairly repetitive. I look forward to it. And
so
if you're
saute the asparagus.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, and lemon and garlic and I'll put like, you know, spices on it. And yeah, like I covered my oatmeal that I eat in the morning. Like if I had to eat for the last, I don't know, I've probably been eating oatmeal for 20 years. If I had to eat just oatmeal with water, you know, like that's it, there's no way I would have given that up 19 and a half years ago. Instead, what I do is I have oats and I put cinnamon and some pumpkin pie spice in it, and then I put a little bit of maple syrup, and then I put some skim milk and I make it up, and then I mix it with canned pumpkin, and I put some walnuts on it and whipped cream and a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top. Like, it's amazing, you know, but like that's how I like it. Right. And there's nothing in there that's precluded, you know, from it being a healthy meal option. So I think that we don't spend enough time trying to find foods that we actually really enjoy that are still within the bounds of what would be considered, you know, not fettuccine Alfredo, you know, like that would be in the bounds of something that you would consider healthy.